Hey friends, how you doing? Joe here. On this video, I'm going to be talking about the brutal, cold, hard, honest truth about the good, the bad, and the ugly of investing in raw, vacant land. Pretty precarious right now. I'm riding on a Segway with my iPhone and an iPad on a Segway. Like, come on, what's going on here? So listen, have you been thinking about investing in raw land? First thing I want to tell you is you can get my land investing kit for free if you go to simplelandkit.com, or the link will be down in the description, and in there I give the two main contracts, the seller's scripts, the direct mail swipe file, all that good stuff that is completely free. You can go there, simplelandkit.com, or check the link in the description. All right, so let's talk about the good first, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Long-term appreciation. Land appreciates, right? No maintenance. You don't have to worry about fixing anything on land. Scarcity, God's not making any more of it, right? Flexibility, land can be used for various purposes, right? Residential, agricultural, commercial, recreational. You could put a parking lot on it. You could put a swimming pool in it. You can build a house. You can build a tiny house. You can go camping. You can go hunting, shoot guns, whatever. Or you could just hold the land for future potential, right? For future growth. The other cool thing about land is you can sell it quick for fast cash, or you can sell it for cash flow. I like the phrase cash now or cash later, or piles of cash and streams of cash. That's why we're in this business, right, is to make cash flow. Well, you can do that with land. And I would say it's even easier with land than it is with houses. You can get land for long-term appreciation, but guess what? Land does not depreciate either. You can't really damage land for the most part, right? I mean, you could put a toxic waste dump in it, but you can't destroy land. The other big thing that's a huge benefit with vacant land is that sellers who own it, when you make offers to buy it, they have practically zero emotional attachment or involvement to the land. So it's like much easier to negotiate bigger discounts with sellers who own vacant land. All right, now, what is the bad? Sometimes it can take a long time to sell your land. Now, when I say long time, with a house, it might take you a couple weeks, a month. Sometimes with land, even with good deals, it can take 1 to 3 months for selling your land. Again, not a big deal when you've only got a few $1,000s, maybe even a few $100s tied up into a piece of land. And it may not even be your own deal. It could be a private investor's deal, but you could put it on a credit card or something like that. Now, sometimes it does take a little longer to sell your land. Also, zoning restrictions. So sometimes, and this is the same for houses, isn't it? I mean, sometimes there's restrictions on the land, what you can do with it. You can't hunt, or you can't put tiny houses. So there is sometimes you have to be aware of this, zoning restrictions on land, okay? The other thing, sometimes there's HOA restrictions, restrictive HOA rules that say, you know, you can only camp on this land 1 month out of the year, or you can't build a tiny house, you can't go hunting, homes have to be a certain size or whatever. So sometimes HOAs can be good. They take care of the roads, they maintain it. It's a beautiful area. We wholesale land in HOAs and are not in HOAs. I can just tell you this, for the most part, usually when a piece of property is not in an HOA, they are a little easier to sell. Just dropped the iPad. What do we got here? You ready for this? It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, but hey, I got Apple Care, so I can get a new one. All right, so sometimes there's access problems, right? Sometimes the property might also have wetlands. Sometimes it might be on the side of a hill or a side of a mountain. So you have to be just more concerned about access to the property and is it usable? The other thing is with vacant land, sometimes it's harder to get comps. There's just not as many vacant lots that are selling or are listed for sale, okay? The ugly, real quick. There is always a potential for fraud. Sometimes I meet sellers that buy land that they should have never bought. They way overpaid for land that they should have never bought in the first place. So there is a potential for fraud. So always make sure you do your due diligence, right? Market volatility. This is the same for houses, but it's also true for land. Sometimes the market goes down. When the economy goes down, the land market goes down. Land can go with it, okay? Also can go up too at the same time. So if you're trying to develop land, sometimes you're going to have a lot of challenges, including accessing things like utilities, water rights. There's going to be issues you have to be aware of that might make it harder to develop land. But do we ever develop land? No. Do we ever do anything to the land? No, we never do. So bottom line, the part of the ugly part of this business, right, is there are ugly properties out there. There's bad properties out there. And it's important that you learn what makes a good deal and what makes a bad deal and learn how to stay away from them. And you'll be fine. The other cool thing is in my contracts, when I make offers on land, I always have a 3-month inspection contingency or a 3-month contingency for due diligence before I actually close on the land. And that will save you a lot of headaches and hassles, because why do you want to buy land that, why do you want to buy a piece of land that you're not going to be able to sell? You have a lot of time to do that. So just to kind of wrap it up, why is land so good? Lots of reasons, but here are some of my favorites. Simple. You don't have to worry about ARV, comps, estimating repairs, inspection contingencies, dealing with picky buyers, hoping or pretending that you have the cash to close on the properties and hoping that one of your cash buyers can actually close on the property. That whole mess, you know, we still do houses, but I'm saying land is a lot easier. The other big thing, it's easier to buy on these. It's easier to buy these deals. It's easier to close on them. You don't need as much money. You don't need to go get bank financing for these deals either. It cash flows the same, if not better, than houses without having to get loan or debt or use leverage. So you get just as good of cash flow, if not better, with free and clear properties. Now you don't have to buy them. You could, you could buy them like with cash. You don't have to use your own cash. You could buy them with seller financing. You could borrow private money on them or whatnot if you wanted to as well. There's a lower cost of entry. It's easier to get started in this business. Land doesn't need as much management in this business. You don't need as big of a team. You don't need property managers. You don't have to deal with tenants and toilets and trash. You can do so many different things with the land. There's virtually no competition. You can buy it super cheap. You can still buy land deals creatively. Sometimes you can even sell them creatively. And sometimes you can even buy them more creatively than you can with houses. There are a ton of buyers looking for raw land right now. Again, whether it's a 1/4 acre infill lot where somebody's going to build a house, or it's a 5-acre lot somebody might want to go hunting or camping on. And again, the reason I love land are the profits, right? You can make cash flow. You can make cash now. You can make piles of cash and streams of cash. So anyway, a lot of advantages to land. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And even, what a great illustration. You can get your iPad pretty ugly and beat up as well. But guess what? It still works. It still works. And I got Apple Care, so I'm going to get another one. Hey, subscribe to the channel too. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like this, and hit the notification button to get notified when I come out with some more. We'll see you. Bye-bye.